my game face. Ain't no stopping me, you know I'm coming in first place. Well, stop it till I get that ring. I'ma dominate all day. No matter who you bring, I will not lose.
Yeah.
I will not lose.
I will not lose.
Yo, what up? It's your boy Owen JJ Stone, aka Black Gritty. Welcome to another episode of Gritty Nights. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're suffering here with us. I appreciate you. It's 1st of October, so that means it's Red October. I'm practicing. I'm just practicing. I got a lot of Red Octobers coming your way, so I might as well get one out early. Say what's up to people, Jason.
What's up, man? I'm so excited for Red October. Couldn't be happier.
Oh, here we go. Harry Harrelson.
Go Phils, baby. I'm pumped. Let's do it.
So, I mean, we're starting off the show happy and free and positively. That's so good to have. The Philadelphia Eagles been trying to ruin my whole life, and I don't like it. And I don't want to be anywhere else but Philadelphia right now. The Sixers are out here in training camp out in Cabo, living it up, living La Vida Loca. The Flyers out here in preseason, going into OT, got everybody crying in the comments and stuff. I mean, people too hyped jumping out the window because of Mishkov, you know what I mean? And then the Eagles. Everybody else got hope and hype and happiness because we don't have a game till Saturday. So the Phils got all the joy going in their back pocket right now. But the Eagles, where do you want to start today? You want to start the Phillies or we start the Eagles?
Do you want to get it over with or what?
Take the Band-Aid off and then let's finish positive.
All right, that sounds like a good day. Okay. Rest in peace, Pete Rose. Rest in peace, Mutombo and James Evans. My God, this month they've been killing everybody. Everybody passed away. Yeah. Check on your loved ones. Tell people you love them because they might not be here tomorrow. They might not make it today. Then Slay and Michael Parsons, the douchebags, talking about CJ, they laughing at him. White's liking posts inside of a game because he's doing social media at home because he didn't go and travel with the team healthy scratch. Jalen Hurts had the worst game I've ever seen him play, and he said him and his coach have their moments, and then the play call is absolute trash. I think that's about it. Let's talk about the Phils. So, who do you...
You missed a couple things.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Sorry.
I didn't hear Jalen. Not the throws. Not the turnovers, though. I didn't hear about the turnovers.
Jalen had the worst game.
That's fair. Yeah, encompassing.
Let me start with that because I defend Jalen. I'm still a Jalen defender, and Jalen is, to me, he's still a guy. People are like, he's not the guy. You don't know who the guy is. Look at Sam Darnold right now. Sam Darnold was putting too many dumpsters to not be a guy. He might mess around and Vikings Chiefs Super Bowl. You don't know, but So Jalen, to me, had the worst game. And everybody came in, worse than the 3 interceptions. They just kept giving me games that were bad games, right? This was his worst game because he missed wide open throws. He missed broken play throws. And he fumbled the ball because of pocket presence. Things that only he could control. So overall, has he thrown more interceptions in the game? Sure. Have I seen him have less command and more fear in the game? No. When he was a rookie and he went there under Doug Peterson and the team was not looking very good, it wasn't doing very well. That's when Jason has brought up many times he looked faster, he had more speed, all that kind of stuff. But this game, a 3-4 year vet, whatever he is now, to not execute the way he did, even with the weapons down, bothers me. Jason, how was Jalen's play for you on Sunday?
Well, Sunday was the worst we've seen, like you said. To be outgained in the second quarter and that you see the stat come up 255 yards to 0 is just sickening to see. And I know he's missing his top 2 wide receivers and Britton Covey, if we're going to count that as wide receiver 3. I'm not sure I'd really count that as a wide receiver 3, though, but whatever, people want to do that. And so I don't know that I was expecting a perfect game, but I needed to see some semblance of command of the offense, even with backup wide receivers out there. And what we saw was a quarterback that kind of looks lost right now. His mechanics are messed up. When he steps into throws, he's missing guys that are open. Now, when he finally makes a good throw, Goddard drops it. And, he's drifting into sacks or he drifts out of clean pockets. And right now, between the play calling and him, everything just seems broken.
Harry.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you guys. The worst game I've seen him play, like you said, because missing those open throws and things. I did not come into this show expecting to make this comparison, but just as I'm sitting here listening to you, it just pops in my head, man. I'm thinking about Carson Wentz, man, and I'm thinking about specifically about Wentz when he did not have those weapons. Remember that season that it was kind of a shit show, for lack of a better word, and he dragged that team to the playoffs, right? I mean, that's something that, at the end of the day, do I believe in Carson Wentz now? No. Did he end up trailing off and making all those types of decisions and just kind of play style of being the hero and this and that led to his downfall? Yes. Do I think that's gonna happen with Jalen? No. But that missed throw to Saquon on that broken play, a wheel route or whatever, that could have been a touchdown to begin the game. I mean, that's the type of throw that you got to make no matter who you are. Saquon was wide open. Wentz would make that throw, I believe, in that same situation, when he was in that version of the Eagles back in the day. And again, it's not to say like, oh, I want Wentz back or anything like that, but just to say that, man, did I see this coming where I thought that Jalen would fall in this trajectory? No. And it's scary because at the end of the day, he does not have the natural physical tools as a quarterback. He is not super tall. He doesn't have a cannon arm. So you need to be accurate and on time, and he's not. And that's really scary.
So I agree with everything you said, except for the Carson Wentz thing. Carson Wentz, his downfall was ego and injury. Jalen's not injured, and his ego might be part of the problem, but that also has to do with his head coach. So I'll say this about Jalen. At least Jalen, I know 100% cares, and he's not worried about anybody else's position. So when I look at what he's doing, I really hate people bringing up Carson Wentz because I want to focus on what is now, because everybody, I keep saying fire Nick Sirianni. It's hard to fire anybody, right? It's hard to fire a coach in the middle of the year. I know that. But it's also hard to keep flipping $100+ million quarterbacks when you get annoyed with them. And again, bring up Geno Smith, bring up Sam Darnold, bring up Baker Mayfield, bring up all these other quarterbacks that have had 6-7 years later a resurgence. I'm not ready to get rid of Jalen Hurts right now. I'm not saying that you were. I'm just saying when you bring up Carson Wentz, that's what it alludes to, is getting rid of him. So
I will just say this, though, the season that those receivers are here with Carson, how many more years was it? About 2 more years, right? And that's where I think we're at with Jalen, where it's like, he cannot do this for 2 more years, bro. He cannot do this for 2 more years.
Well, the receivers are much more elite than what Carson had, and Carson was severely injured.
Right.
There's a difference. That's what
it's not the same.
Carson up into it, because Carson's downfall was, the dude broke his back, broke his leg, broke his leg. Like, Carson Wentz is, I just hate even having him in the conversation. I know why you do it. I know why we do it. I don't want to mention Carson Wentz's name anymore because it has nothing to do with what we're doing right now.
It's a PTSD response. That's why we're just.
Well, it's also, you're right, but it's also partially, again, the physical tools, right? Carson was tall and had a cannon, so it's like sometimes he could make the hero play, and Jalen is late and making low velocity throws, so it's just hard to see.
I personally, and this is where I've been right about everything I said so far about this team, but this is where I might be wrong because I keep trying to defend Jalen. I feel like Jalen does best under strict coaching. And when he doesn't have it, he loses his fundamentals. His ego gets in the way. His personal mind gets in the way instead of just doing what he was told. If you just take the first 10 plays of the Eagles, where 9 plays were pass plays.
7 were passes.
7 were passes, 2 were runs.
Both second down. Second down, they kept running the ball. And
so it's like, what are we doing when you look at just the play calling?
Yeah.
Then you go and watch Baker Mayfield, who was getting destroyed the week before by Denver, come out, and the offense had a completely different feel and game plan. They said, we watched Carter and Jordan Davis destroy that line. 2 seconds out, 2 seconds out. Flats, edges, and just walk down the field on the sidelines. And I'm like, wow, that doesn't look like what Baker Mayfield likes to do. I know it's not what Evans wants to do. I'm like, they like going down the field. And once the game broke open and they were wearing everybody down, making them chase them, then they started throwing down the field. But that coordinator had a plan to attack that defense. We don't do that. Our first scripted plays are just absolutely mind-boggling, and it's not until the second quarter where they're like, oh yeah, we have Saquon Barkley, let's just run them 2 times in a row instead of once and see if we can break one for 9 yards. It's absolutely infuriating, because then it makes me feel like, okay, so Jalen, maybe you're asking him to throw too much, especially to guys that may not be strong enough to get off the bump and run, because Bowles knows him and knows how to confuse him and knows how to play him. You didn't give him any tools to help him. You sent him out there, and something that Jays keeps saying offline, I'm sure Harry would say the same thing too. The team doesn't look any different than last year, even though you got new coordinators.
Right.
So if that's the issue, then how could I expect Jalen to be better or improve when it seems like you're motioning just to motion? They had these lazy motion routes that were so slow, and by the time he snapped it, the defense has already communicated who's doing what. Motion is supposed to be in a flow of the game to get people off. So, Harry, I hear you.
Man.
But I think that it's Jalen looks bad, but I think that it's game planning and coaching that is significantly hindering him as to where the thing with Carson Wentz, I will say, when his guys came off the practice field squad, the Fulton, remember that Fulton guy?
Yeah,
whatever?
yeah,
Fulton,
I forget.
he had a 3-game stretch where he looked like Terrell Owens, and then he just disappeared and was never heard from again. Witness protection. I don't know what happened. But we also had our giant killer, Ward. Like, I felt like the team was built better, too, back then, where we had guys that were practice squad guys that we'd bring up here and there, and there were guys that we all knew their names. Now it's like, okay, we got the young guys, the Paris game, but it's not the same level of quality player. So Jalen was hindered, but he also embarrassed himself. So, Harry, can Nick Sirianni save his job this year?
Man, that's the question, isn't it? I don't think he can, but man, it's just one of those things when there's so many like things going on, you know what I mean? In terms of like at the end of the day, like you said, we're talking about Jalen a lot to start the show, but I mean, looking at, I'm sure you guys have seen the stats comparing his numbers to Mahomes and how Mahomes is worse numbers. But guess what? The Chiefs have a good defense and they get all the calls. So like we could be 4-0 too, right? What would we be saying then? So it's just weird though, because I still think we have all those problems that we're talking about. And at the end of the day, like no, if we're 4-0, I mean, like I saw Tyrone Johnson on 97.5 today say if we're 4-0, we wouldn't be talking about firing the coach. And I'm like, would we or would we not? You know what I mean? I don't know.
We'd be the same as 10-1 last year. We'd still be talking
about
firing.
Yeah, I agree. You're right.
So
yes, so I think that Nick is going to be gone, and it's it's a matter of like winning the Super Bowl. Basically, I think we kind of said that at the end of last season. Like, what will it take for Nick to stay? And we kind of said, conference championship, Super Bowl. I think that's the type of thing that would keep him, and that's about it.
So Jason, if we all know this man's getting fired because he's not winning a Super Bowl this year, why is he still here?
Optics. The Eagles don't like to make themselves look bad. They like to pretend they're ahead of the curve on the league. And if we look at it really with a real, close eye, the offense is nowhere near the top of the league. And the defensive scheme that they are in love with, this Fangio scheme, is past due. It doesn't work anymore. Like, it just doesn't work. It can't handle 3 wide receiver sets. They played a great game against the Saints because the Saints use 3 wide receiver sets at the lowest rate in the league. Then they come out against Tampa, and Tampa just destroys them again. I know we keep talking about they could be 4-0. It's really 3-1 they could have been if Saquon catches that ball, right?
Yeah.
But if the Saints don't collide on that mesh play, then they're 1-3. They could be 2, right? Like, It's just
and if our defense doesn't stand on its head, sorry to butt in on the Packers game, those first 2 drives, right? We could be 0-4.
Yeah, like they just haven't played well. And so hopping on the other question, Sirianni could save his job because the schedule is easy enough for the team to turn stuff around, but he's shown nothing to make me think that he will save his job.
So the thing I've always been right about when people try to go against me is that he's supposed to be the culture guy. He's the culture setter. So White has been a healthy scratch again, didn't travel with the team. And he's sitting at home and retweeting former players sacking Jalen Hurts.
Right, Levante David.
I mean, he said it was an accident because he meant to heart it.
That's just as bad.
It's just as bad. It's just as bad, right? Like, I didn't. Okay, so that's one thing. I'm not going to harp on that too much because we know what that is. He might want to be traded. He might just have frustrations. He might have something personal going on in his life. I don't know what it is, but I know he doesn't want to be an Eagle right now, and they're not using him, so they don't want him right now. They told up a spot on the roster, so you might as well get rid of him. Then Slay goes on Twitter right after the game and lists off his accolades, which again, this is what this man always does. Mm-hmm. And somebody asked me on one of the shows, we said, well, how did he get the C on his chest? For coward, for crybaby. I don't know how he got a C on his chest. I'm trying to figure it out. But I'm obviously not big enough yet because he hasn't blocked me, and I've called a mid-play Slay for years. He finds it funny too. But dude, you post your accolades. You are getting toasted. And you got toasted by a rookie for a touchdown, and he dropped the ball. And 3 to 7 seconds later, you're doing the no catch. Like, bro, humble yourself and go sit down. And then since you want to be a social media darling and my camera is better than you, my lighting's better than you, my voice is better than you, you just have millions of dollars where I don't. Then you have a lovely wife, which I don't, who makes great banana pudding pie, which I don't. But other than that, I'm better than you, Slay. My equipment's better than you. My sound effects, everything's better than you. You go on that thing with your little chalkboard and your shitty lighting in your bad basement up against a wall like a punk, and you go laugh with Micah Parsons, and it doesn't matter. It's just rich guys talking shit in their basements. Oh, you're better than your mom because you got your own basement? No, you're not better than the guys in the home doing a podcast either. You know why? Because yes, I understand that it's a business now, and I don't need rivalry buddy. Like guys can go and talk and they can train off season. You're in the middle of the fucking year, and you're going against our most hated rival in football. Not in the conference, not in the division, not on fucking planet Earth. We hate the Cowboys. Dallas sucks. You're a guy from Detroit. Detroit has nothing to do with Dallas. It's not like you fucking lived in Dallas and you were some Dallas star and played there and you wanted to go on Mike. You go on Micah Parsons' podcast and you laugh at a current player. That is no better than white liking or retweeting something on social media. It's absolutely disgusting from that standpoint alone. Then you bring in fandom. Then he has the nerve to tweet that morning, I can't do anything right. I'm just trying to have fun. That's your fucking problem. Nice route, buddy. You're trying to have fun and be everybody's friend instead of doing your job. Because guess what? You are one of the worst athletes in social media that I've ever seen in my life. Your takes are trash. Your humor is trash. Bro, you used to be a great cornerback, and now you're not even doing that properly. So good luck to you and whatever media company's paying you a check. But, dude, you suck at it. Mike is better than you. I mean, Micah's camera's better than you. I'm just saying, bro. Like, everything you're doing social media-wise is garbage. So the fact that you can do that and then come on the internet and say, the media is coming after me. Bitch, you are the media, dumbass. You are one of the dumbest players on God's green earth, and I don't give a shit. Hope he blocks me now. But I'm just saying, you're out here ripping all these people on the internet, and you're no better than them. You're sitting in your basement with a chalkboard wall and shitty lighting saying the dumbest things on the internet and then having to delete them, block people, go private. You are in somebody's grandmother's basement, bro. That's you, Slay. How do y'all feel about Slay? Harry?
Man, I mean, you just killed it on that one. That was a good rant there. I mean, I feel very similar, man. I saw the post this morning, and I commented it being like, man, it's sad what the world is like. Clout just above everything, right? Like money above everything. Again, at the end of the day, you know, the rivalry, you know, maybe it's not as you know, dirty and down in the dumps and, you know, kill or be killed as it used to be back in the day in the 60s or something like that. But at the same time, again, we hate them. Like you said, that's my least favorite franchise in all of sports. And I think most people in Philly feel that way. And it's like, man, Micah Parsons, why, again, like you said, why are we talking about CJ DJ is already going to get shit on. We know that. Slay should know that. And you're going and doing that. Like, would Jason Kelsey ever do anything fucking like that? No, sorry for cursing. But I mean, geez, like it's sad, and I still do like Slay, I guess, like on some level, because he's been a great, you know, player for us for a long time. I don't want to just go say, you know, against all these players because they're doing stuff like this. But at the end of the day, right now, like, he deserves to get ripped, and you could probably just, you know, play what you just said again a few times on loop, and people would enjoy it.
So Jason, it's not about even hating the guy, right? It's about him just consistently doing dumb things.
Yeah, it's about being a team leader. When you're a captain of the team and things aren't going well, you don't go and, you know, prop yourself up and point at everyone else like, hey, I do my good stuff. What is everyone else out there doing? I don't know. And Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, you know, him and Parsons were beefing all last week. So to even go on that podcast to talk about a teammate is wild to me. And how that doesn't end in a fight in the locker room is beyond me. Like, that would be on site. You know what I mean? Like, we just got to go now. There's no other question about it. And then when you watch Slay play, he is a business decision guy at this point in his career. He likes to play off because he doesn't want to get beat for touchdowns because he's worried about those career stats. Which, by the way, who has their career stats saved for that quick? Copy and paste. That is so
Copy and paste.
That is so lame. Right? So, you know, he plays off. He never wants to be impressed because he doesn't want to get beat if he can't blame a safety behind him. And he doesn't tackle. When's the last time he made a big play? Anyone remember?
No.
I don't. Right? Like, so, you know, he doesn't get it. You can tell he was a Detroit Lion when they were losers, and he's kind of brought that mentality with him, to be honest. And it seems possible that Matt Patricia may have gotten one thing right in his life.
Look at you, Jason.
Yeah, you know. Your rant was epic.
Oh, yeah. Well, you closed that up. That was a good closed argument right there. So we say that to say this. Where's the culture guy?
You forgot one, too.
What I forget?
Got Isaiah Rodgers not knowing the rules and then tweeting about how I came to your job and you didn't know how to do it and I made fun of you. Like
Coaching.
Yeah.
If I laughed at Shanahan for not having the guys ready, then I got to laugh at Nick Sirianni. I got to laugh at Vic Fangio. I got to laugh at a guy who was sitting on his couch for a whole year and had nothing to do but watch football. Maybe you should pick up some rule books while you're sitting there at home being suspended. And man alive, the team has no culture anymore. It fell apart. Now, I said this earlier. I didn't want to talk about Carson. I told Jason I don't want to keep going back to last year. But as far as culture is concerned, we know that they had issues on the team. Hassan Reddick was such a terror to the team, and maybe Cox didn't like him either, and Kelsey was too vocal and too strong, and so he had to move on and move forward. Well, now what? Now what's the excuse? Because you got DBs on the one side of the ball beef with each other. Jalen has no beef on the offense, except for everybody saying stop fumbling the ball, and they're looking at him a certain kind of way. But then Nick Sirianni. I mean, it seems like nobody trusts or likes this guy, and he's putting his hand in the cookie jar too much, and the few decisions he makes is bad. So you don't do culture, you don't call plays, you don't do anything, you might as well fire him. And for the people to say to me, you can't fire a 2-2 coach in the game beginning of the year, addition by subtraction. Maybe you fire him to light a fire burn in everybody's ass and say, hey, bro, you could be out next. Yeah. There's going to be a lot of stuff moving and shaking around here. Guess what? He doesn't call the plays anyway. So losing him doesn't mean anything. You elevate your offensive coordinator and you say, hey, bro, you ain't never had a head coaching job. You want a shot? You got the last 10 weeks of this season to go prove that you're going to get hired for this job or stay at this job or get a job somewhere else. But here, knock yourself out because this guy's lost the locker room again. It's over for them.
And I think they need to do that anyway, because if they do end up playing well, then Kellen Moore leaves and we're finding another offensive coordinator.
Exactly the same.
So that's like an extra bonus of promoting Moore to head coach, that to see if he can do it and to keep him around to call plays if he's good at it.
So let's talk about the defense.
Thank you.
They showed up last week and they gave so much effort and we praised them and we were like, what is going on? And if I had to list every single person that played like absolute shit on, see, I'm angry, so we're cussing this week, so because we're mad. This week, I'm going to name every single person on defense that sucked. Everybody on the defensive side of the ball that not named Quinyon Mitchell was trash.
Correct.
Every single, I don't care, name a player. Blankenship was getting chipped up. I mean, at least he was tackling, but he was getting chipped up.
He got ran over on the goal line by Baker.
He did.
Like, that's embarrassing.
Dean, N'Kobe, what you doing, brother?
Not looking good.
Where's Brombon? Where's Brombon? Oh, best linebacker. Oh, shut up. Shut up. He was getting smacked around too. Nolan Smith. Let's put T.O. out there and let Nolan Smith cover him. Yeah. T.O. is prime. Let's let Nolan Smith cover Randy Moss. Like, what are we doing?
You know he was scared lined up across from Godwin.
Let me tell you something.
Oh my God.
I was scared.
He should have just tackled him.
There's far few between times in my life that I say this in a football game, but I saw it and I'm like, barbecue chicken alert. Like, where is Shaq right now? Because there is a mouse in the head. Like, what is going on?
You know, low key, I feel that way when he goes up against tackles too. I'm like, barbecue chicken alert. Like, that's what I feel too. So, Jesus.
So what are you gonna say, Jason?
So you know why that happened, right? How he ends up out there?
What happened?
The Bucks sub in a third receiver, and the Eagles were like, "Nah, we're good with our base. We'll backer out there. We're good." That was one of the top 3 slot wide receivers in the NFL. What could go wrong?
Oh my God!
You know, Nolan Smith has shown all that coverage ability.
Yep.
Harry. Jordan Davis.
Oh, oh my God, bust. I mean, at this point, I saw Baldy again. Like Baldy. Brian Baldinger is someone that I love. Breaks down like tackles and just lets you get in the nitty gritty of football, right? And he's somebody that has talked. You know, he's tried to keep Jordan Davis elevated as a potential good player for a while. And I saw him talking today, and he was just like, yeah, quite frankly, like we don't know if he's a starter in the NFL. And I'm like, Baldy's been hanging on, man. Baldy's been hanging on. So, and Baldy knows ball. So I mean, at the end of the day, Jordan Davis can't do anything in the pass rush, and he's trying to be. We want him to be like Vita Vea and be this 350 plus, tackle that clogs everything, and he can't do that either. So I'm like, where is that athleticism and that size that we thought was going to translate to something? I am so confused. I don't know. He's just not it. So, man.
Look at Baldy's breakdown he did today from Tavondre Sweat, the rookie on the Titans, who's 340 pounds, plays nose tackle and all that. And he was just tossing guys last night in that game and just, making plays behind the line of scrimmage. And Jordan Davis's best one is chasing Josh Allen. I don't think of any other play he's made, really. Oh, he had the sack last week when he came around. That was it.
And I feel like it's like he doesn't have any want to, because
Nope.
when they feel
Yeah.
like they have want, they go do it.
Right.
And it's just bad.
But it was hot, so you can't ask those big guys to try hard.
Man, shoot, dude.
The heat was oppressive. And I'm black, so hearing a white man say oppressive heat 14 times a quarter just made me feel some sort of way. Can we
Use a different word?
Do you have a thesaurus around?
Yeah, but when you're white, the sun is really harsh, so that's what he was. That's what he was saying.
Yeah, because when you're white, it's oppressive. You know what else is oppressive? White people.
Yes,
Hearing
yeah,
white
fair.
people talk about oppression. I didn't even describing heat feels like a jab in the back of my heart, bro. Like I'm getting PTSD that ain't even put on me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Anyway, the defense was absolutely pathetic. Vic Fangio is now a meme of, what do I do?
Did
bro?
you hear him today?
What did he say?
He said, "Yeah, I was trying to get the DBs to start playing closer, but it just wasn't happening." It was basically what he said in his press conference. Like, what does that even mean?
Maybe you should get down out of the booth, old man.
Yep.
He kind of said also he gives the DBs carte blanche to play how they feel comfortable, off or close.
What the hell?
No, you have to call the defense.
Yeah.
Guys can't just pick what they want to do out there. Like, who's coaching this team at this point? It's just Howie lets guys do whatever, and the coaches are just there collecting checks. Is how it feels.
Well, that's what you get. When
Howie
you
season.
swallow down groups, that's what you get with Nick Sirianni, coach. So it's like the whole thing is just bad. And again, for anybody listening later, I know shout out to everybody watching baseball playoffs right now. So we're low in numbers live. We appreciate the people that are in here, y'all hanging out with us. We're gonna talk baseball soon. We're gonna get to it, I promise you. But it's like, man, these guys are just poorly coached and they're not playing well, and the locker room's bad. So I don't care that it is 2-2 and it's so early. It doesn't look right, it doesn't smell right, and it doesn't feel right. So
we didn't even say Howie's name, but I mean, at the end of the day, like Howie Roseman, baby, like what the hell? You can't waste like premier draft picks on defensive players. How many years in a row? And they're all, besides Jalen Carter, who was like dropped to us luckily, and Quinyon Mitchell, who dropped to us luckily. Like, goddamn, this is crazy. And at the end of the day, I don't even know, because you said the coaching, man. Like, I don't even know, like, could these guys be good with good coaching? Like, I mean, probably not. I don't think that anymore. But I mean, geez, who knows? It feels like way too many things are going wrong for us to be like, well, maybe Nick can get us to a championship. Like, no, just gotta get him out of here. God, I'm so tired of this, man.
Free agent signings, Bryce Huff, Chelsea Johnson, they're both not doing well right now.
No.
Zach Bond's okay.
Yeah, I mean.
Oh, he's almost ready to play, they said, Cooper DeJean. He's almost ready to take Avonte Maddox's job, who couldn't tackle a paper bag.
Oh, God. Yo.
That's the worst missed tackle I've ever seen.
It looked like
eyes closed.
Yeah.
Had to be.
No, like we joke about things. It honestly looked like Pee-wee. It looked like somebody's like 5th grade child.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just running and diving in air. It was so embarrassing. And my gosh. So yeah, the Eagles are in trouble. They have the bye week, and we're gonna hear a lot more quotes and mishaps and misspeaking and la 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 la. And they're gonna get healthy, and they're gonna beat the Browns because the Browns are terrible. And we're gonna have a miserable, joyous season, because no matter what they do, we're not gonna be happy. They can win 8 in a row, and we're not going to be happy, because if they do win 8 in a row, it's going to be the ugliest, shittiest looking 8 in a row win you've ever seen in your life.
I just want to watch a game that's fun. Like the Lions game last night. The Lions game was fun.
Yeah.
Like,
Jared Goff was 18-18 or something like that. Like, God, Jalen's dropping down. I'm sorry. I can't. I just feed Saquon. Give Saquon 30 carries and make me happy.
Oh man, see. This is when I'm in my happy place.
Miserable.
When you lose Aristotle,
Yo,
your boy out here going full throttle.
I mean, bro, I was wearing Eagles jerseys the last 3 weeks. I had to take that off, put on.
James Earl Jones might have died, but you can still come to the dark side, brother. You out here forward out here, Harry. I love it.
Yes, I'm here.
So yeah, let's side break real quick. The Sixers had their meetings. They said all the right things. Joel Embiid's down 25 pounds. He still wants to get like 10 or a few more so he can model, at the midweek. He said really good things. He doesn't care about all NBA. He doesn't care about MVP. He doesn't care about anything. He only cares about being healthy during the postseason. And I mean, the roster looks fabulous. Maury's still breathing heavier than me. It's really, I'm fat and I don't understand what his problem is. But it's just exciting time. Jason, are you going to give the Sixers a clean slate for this season with all the new abundance and joy we got going on?
I'm gonna pretend I'm not gonna because I don't want to get hurt again, but I always do, right? Hearing Embiid say all the right things was exactly what I needed. Seeing that he does look like he's in better shape. This is the first offseason where he's come back and you're like, wait, he put in the work. He's not showing up, out of shape and then trying to win MVP and doing all that stuff. So everything he said does give me hope. I'm like, wait, does he get it now? Did the Olympics, did he learn something being around those guys? Because that's the big hope, right? And then, I'm going to know how it's going to end, but I'm going to go for the ride one more time.
How's it going to end? Is it going to end in the second round or third round?
Second round, Sixers.
Woo! Harry, if it ends in the second round, what are we doing?
I mean, if it ends in the second round, Joel was hurt because I don't see us losing in the second round with Joel being healthy in the roster we have. What are we doing? I mean, I don't know. What are we doing? I mean, bro, like at that point, I guess like you just are stuck with the situation we're stuck with because we have all these max players. Like, I mean, maybe trade Joel, I guess, but yeah, I don't know.
Not anymore, right?
Oh my God, the Knicks, I don't know, dude. Cat's soft, so don't worry about that. But I was gonna say, like, bro, every year, listen, the Sixers were my favorite team for a long stretch. When the Birds had Chip Kelly and the Phillies sucked. The Sixers are my favorite team. Basketball is my favorite sport. So listen, I'm never one of those guys who like believes that I have hope every year for the Sixers. That's what I'm saying. Even when it looks bad, I got hope for the Sixers. So I feel excited. I'm very excited for this season. Maxey is young as hell, bro. He's gonna take another leap and be great. Paul George is, I think gonna be fine for us. He's a 3-and-D. It's all we need. So give me hope again this year. I'm ready.
You know what I just realized?
What?
Hearing Harry be so positive about the Sixers. We let Chef down about the Eagles, man. We didn't keep that positive mindset that he tried to teach us last week.
You're right, but how could we?
I thought
we tried.
I saw Chef's videos this week. He was not.
No, happy. Yeah, he was not.
Yeah, he was not happy with his son.
I tried for like an hour. The game, like you don't have to be mad. Just be calm. It's okay. It's okay. Like everybody was hurt.
So, first of all, hello, Kate. I saw you say you, but hello. It is so annoying because we're just trying to have fun. People say in my comments, I get all the time, this is why Philly fans are the worst. You guys are wrong. I was like, I'm not going to stop rooting for the team. I'm not jumping off the bandwagon. They're my team. I'm not going anywhere.
No words of bias. That is good, bro. That is good. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Hey, look, who's spies? I don't know nothing about that. No, take that comment down. PTSD. I told you I'm tripping.
I don't know. Nothing.
But my point is that people, Philadelphia fans are so negative. I was like, we're realistic. When it's bad, it's bad. And guess what? I watched the Brewers game against the Mets. There were a lot of open seats. So you haven't made the postseason in a long time. Your team fights and is on a roll to get in there. They're hot. And you don't show up to the game, not in Philadelphia. I don't care if the game's at 1 o'clock on a Monday in Philadelphia. Guess what? Sold out event, every seat taken. Every seat taken.
They would have sold out the simulated game that they did today. If they were there, that it would have been a full house.
100%.
You're right.
So when people say things to me about how bad Philadelphia fans are, it's because we care. You live in the Brewers market and you don't understand what it's like. You don't know what it is. And that's fine. I don't really have an argument or quarrel with you. But where Philadelphia fans try to tell me, well, we just so, because we care. And if you want to be a team that nobody cares about, then go be the Brewers. Go be the Chicago Bulls. You know what I mean? Because unless you got Michael Jordan, Chicago doesn't care about basketball. I mean, shoot, more people cared about the Chicago Sky because Angel Reese is here than those guys. So, I mean, I just want you to understand that when you're here, we care, we show up. And if you want to be a team that says, or a person that says, we're too hard on people, then you don't care about anything. If your kid was just messing up in school and getting D's all the time, they're not failing, but you're not going to try to do anything to encourage them to get a better grade. You're just going to let them go from pre-K to 12th grade getting D's every single month, every single quarter. You're never going to try to encourage them. You're not going to get frustrated with them. You're not going to try to find ways to help motivate them. Then you're a shitty parent, you're a shitty person. Because guess what? Out here, we want straight A's out this bitch, and we know we're not going to get them, but at least we're striving for it. At least we hope for it. At least we believe that our kid is capable of doing it. And that's what fandom is in Philadelphia. We care about our children. And I say that to say, let me see if I can find something over here. So, Harry, are they getting out of the second round?
Who, the Phillies?
Yeah.
Hell yes, bro. Until we lose a series, like we're going to the world. We're in the World Series, like so. That's how I'm feeling. Listen, at the end of the day, we've talked about the Phillies a bunch on this show about the things we're worried about, Topper, this, that, and the third. But now it's here, right? Now Red October is here, and I'm ready just to celebrate this team and cheer them on till the wheels fall off. So, and I hope they don't fall off this year. So I'm excited as hell.
Yeah, I have no problem just being happy at this moment because again, I say we don't even know who we're playing. Well, we know who we're playing, right?
Most likely.
It's going to be the Mets.
Yep.
I think what is it like 98 or 88% of teams that win the first game.
Yeah, they usually go on to win, especially they won on the road, so
Yes.
it's even more of a big deal.
So we are going to play the Mets, and I'm not scared of the Mets because guess what?
And guess what? There will not be that many New York fans like there were for the Sixers playoff games. Phillies
hell
fans
no.
are not going to sell those tickets.
No.
Nope.
So it's going to be a Phillies crowd there. Okay.
Yeah, it's not. Oh God, I didn't even think about that. I'm over here trying to pull up this video.
Also talking about PTSD, I went to game 6, I think it was, or game 5 of the 2009 World Series, the last game we won at home when Cliff Lee pitched, and there was like a black hole of Yankees fans in left field because of StubHub seats. It was like they were competing with the whole stadium, and it was the most disgusting thing. Thankfully we won 8-1, I think, that game, so they kind of shut up. But if I see any orange and purple pockets, I'm gonna be pissed for sure.
We're going wild for sure. So let me let's play this video for us real quick and for the audience.
Can be two totally different experiences. How do you explain to people who have lived in neither city the difference?
I think when I think about Philly, I think being in the Northeast is something that's a factor in their fandom. You're a little bit more on top of each other. Everyone's got to fight a little bit more for themselves. They love to love you. And when they do love you, it is an amazing place to play. But they also love to hate you. And I think that's something that's really, really unique about that city is that the accountability factor, there's a standard there that they expect. And obviously the desire to win kind of at the root of all of that. And in Milwaukee, it's really, really great when we're winning. But the people are most likely just like happy to be there and happy to support. We've done a lot of winning, so there's been a lot of that. But, it might be, hey, let's get them next time instead of, I cannot believe we did that. We got to fix that type of thing. So I've never spent a lot of time in the Midwest. And just like how genuine people are to you, straight to your face, is something that is easy to be around and it's easy to play for too. I've had a great time playing for the city of Milwaukee.
Philly and
So that was Reese Hoskins, if you're listening on audio, talking about the difference between the Philadelphia and the Midwest. And he sums it up a lot nicer than I did, obviously. But they don't care as much. And that it just is what it is. And that's fine. But don't tell me that I'm a horrible person and that's just Philadelphia fans for you because I care.
Yo, seeing that home run just chills the second that replay came on. Reese's big home. Yeah. Oh, man.
Oh, so
I just can't wait.
That's one of the reasons why I didn't want to see the Brewers, because I don't want to have the love affair of Hoskins conversation. I really just don't.
Right, you want to hate the other team.
Yes, I want to enjoy my hatred. I want to talk my stuff. I want to not feel bad about a decent human being. I was never a Reese guy. I was more of a Reese's wife guy.
More of a Reese's Pieces.
Yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Nah, he. I understand a lot of people loved him, but a lot of people did hate on him. So he was going through it. He was going through the real Philadelphia star treatment of half love you, half hate you. And his wife was just out there, just giving out beers in playoff games and shaking everybody's hand and just being a positive force. And she did not have to do that. She did not deserve any kind of like vitriol, which she was getting at first. And she turned that ship around because she's a smart woman. And, it was like, here, have a beer. You want to complain about my husband? Have a beer. You know what I mean? Like,
we're that easy, right?
Yeah,
for real.
Pretty much like,
just listen to us complain and give us beer.
I can't believe it's right. But I mean, she was spending her husband's car, but she had like what, $8,000, $1,800. Like she was throwing mad money, just buying everybody beer. So shout out to the Reeses. I just don't want to have to deal with that in the playoffs. So fuck the Mets. It is
fuck
what
the
it
Mets,
is.
Yep.
So speaking of that, let's get on to just talking about. No, before we do that, we're not going to talk about it a lot because we're only semi-Flyers people. But the Flyers went out and had an overtime game, and I watched the game, and the crowd, like that. Again, I'm just talking about the fans here. We're so hungry for something that we've waited for so long. And a lot of I'm not a hardcore Flyer guy. I'm Black Gritty, but I'm not a hardcore Flyer guy. I admit that openly to people. People know that about me. But we do try to sprinkle it in and talk about it. Last year we were on the ride, but we knew it wasn't going to end the way we wanted to, so we kind of tempered expectations. But In Philadelphia, people's like, oh, nobody talks about the Flyers. The Flyers gave us nothing to talk about for a long time, for a very long time. Ownership was terrible. Management was flippy floppy. The players were the players, and they just weren't going anywhere. So to talk about them didn't mean anything. But since Jonesy's been in there, they've done all these changes in the front office. They've got a coach in there towards that's out here just biting people's heads off, and that's the kind of thing we like here in Philadelphia. Then the young Russian baby Jesus is actually coming to town when we heard he wasn't going to come for 4 years, and then the next year he's here and it's Michkov time, and it's just like there's hope. And if you haven't watched the Flyers preseason game, which sounds crazy because why would you? Watch the Flyers preseason and just look at the fans' faces and look at the joy and positivity that they have. And remember that for when we're trying to burn the city down 2 months into the season when it doesn't go so well. But right now, hope, joy, and love afoot for the Flyers. The Phillies were playing the Mets.
We assume.
No. We're playing the Mets. I'm going off math. I was waiting because everyone's like, oh, you didn't make a Red October video. I was like, bro, I can't just be spreading around my vitriol. I need to be focused and honed on somebody. So I'm honing in on the Mets. And if it happens to not be the Mets, then I get to laugh at the Mets after I try to give them a little bit of hope. So either way, now we're good to go. Jason, are you scared of the Mets?
No, why would I be scared of the Mets?
Well, they beat the Brewers but if the Brewers won, would people be scared of the Brewers?
Too, right.
Okay, so what are we doing?
No, the Phillies played the Mets 13 times. They went 7-6 against the Mets. 3 of the losses were Taijuan Walker starts, so we can just go ahead and not count those because right? So, and the Mets got to come here and play, right? In a playoff atmosphere. The Mets bullpen, Diaz is a guy that the Phillies have gotten to time and time again, where the Mets couldn't even use him half the time against Harper, so he's destined to let up a big home run in one of the first 2 games.
Especially because Harper shows up in the brightest of lights and the biggest of moments, and we're going to get healthy. Like we're not injured, but we have nagging little things.
They needed the rest.
And so this week is hot tub time, bath salts, sniffing, like just get right and get ready to roll. And I feel so positive, so good about the team and the battle that they went through. They've already had their lows. They've already had their backs kicked in by the city. And they crawled their way out of it. When they were in their deepest of despair, when no one was happy with them, they still, put their hand up out on the mat and stood up and went back to fighting. So, I mean, that's all we can ask for, right? They're one of the best teams in baseball. I fear no one.
Also, the Mets just played a doubleheader Monday. They played today. Like, their pitching staff is going to be used up by then.
Yeah. Good point.
In the great words of Mortal Kombat, Toasties! Harry. I'm sorry. Yeah.
I was gonna say, in the great words of Mortal Kombat, get over here to the Mets. That's what I'm ready for.
That works too.
Yep.
Get over here. Finish it.
Yo, hey. There we go. On a roll, baby.
Pause. Harry, you obviously said too, you're not afraid of the Mets. Do you feel like it's going to be tight at home, considering the way that the season ended last year at home in Philadelphia, where we thought that we had the bank as our bank? Or do you think that the good vibes start off right?
Oh, I mean, I think the fans are going to come out hot as hell because we're aware of that, right? We're aware like this is the time, and we're aware that we've had 3 years in a row. This will be the 3rd year in a row coming off of no type of playoff, appearances to being like, let's prove it again that we're the fan base. We take pride, I think, especially with the social media world we live in now. Like the spotlight is on us at this time of year, so we're gonna have a great energy. I will say again, I'm not afraid of the Mets either, but I don't necessarily think we're gonna sweep them or that there won't be close games or things like that. They're a good team and they've been hot and they played us close this year. So again, but that makes me feel more comfortable with like, okay, we're gonna go into it. I'm not gonna approach it like, wow, we gave up a whatever home run and it's over. I'm ready for us to dig deep, and I think again like this is the year where it's like the team needs to know it's about hunkering down and playing well throughout the whole entire playoffs, not just being streaky and riding the vibes. They're going to be focused. So I think we're going to be fine.
I just need to know if Liam's getting off of school. Is somebody writing Liam a note?
Saturday and Sunday.
A sick note? Oh, Saturday, Sunday? Never mind. We're on fire. NBA Jams. Now I'm just gonna be trying to think of a video.
I need to think of some. I'm like, I can't.
But he's off. We're good to go. As long as Captain Liam's in the house, the Mayor Liam is in the house, it'll be all right. Because, I complained a lot during the season about why is Nick Castellanos playing every game? Obviously, that was something that he wanted to do, something he was striving for, something that was a goal of his personally, because they had his little picture, his little 162 played every game, and he did. And he worked himself through his slump in the beginning of the season when we all were like, why can't he get a day off? Everybody else was randomly getting days off here and there. Topper was actually moving the lineup around a little bit this year, which hopefully translates to the postseason. And Cassie came through it. So happy for him. You still don't know what a shirt is, which is fine. You know what I mean? If I look like Castellanos, I wouldn't wear a shirt either. You know what I mean? If it was mandatory by HR, Harry wouldn't be on here wearing a shirt. You know what I mean? So it's just like mandatory. I can't have it's called Gritty Nights, Black Gritty. I can't have a man on my show.
Wait for the Patreon to get started. Then we'll.
I'll just wait until we have like a live show somewhere, and I'll stick Harry up on the bar, have him shake it, and we're just gonna collect the dollars and put it towards the fund.
Whatever it takes. Yep.
Get some new equipment going. But yeah, I forgot it's on the weekend, so Liam's gonna be there. The vibes are gonna be high. Living in this groove new world with my head up in outer space. It's so dumb because baseball has like become more finite than ever. I feel like football is so dominant. Basketball has like the biggest stars, and baseball, other than Ohtani, and even Ohtani, people forget about Ohtani until it came to 50-50 game. I was like, I hadn't heard about Ohtani in 3 weeks. 3 weeks. And Bryce Harper is the second most popular baseball player by jerseys and money and all that other stuff in the league. And so it's just weird that like we care so much, and I feel so much joy. I tell the story all the time. We were in the World Series and we were at a wedding, and my daughter was crying. We were at the bar watching the thing, like, you know, the wedding bar or whatever. And she was just crying, like, why aren't they winning? And I'm like, man, she cared. Like, she cared. And, you know, when you're 15 and you're a girl, and I'm like, I was like, oh man, she into it. Cause, you know, sitting there every night watching the games. It's so impactful to us because, again, we care. So I'm so excited for Red October. Red October.
Hey.
There it is.
I can't wait. So none of us are scared of the Mets. The Brewers come here with their little funky little mustaches and their ho-hum attitude. We're gonna whoop their ass too, and go on from there, because that's what postseason baseball is all about. I'll ask you this before we stop talking about that. Harry, do you believe in Topper this year? Do you think Topper has learned from his mistakes of the last 2 seasons?
I do believe in Topper. I do believe in Topper, and in a sense that I think, again, at the end of the day, like, you know, our players need to play well, right? Like, our hitters need to hit. So it's not just that Topper's fault that we lost last year. I mean, you know, maybe against the Astros, like, we can talk about Topper a little bit more, but I think last postseason it was mostly the players. And I do think that I don't know why I believe it, but I just believe that he'll ride with the guys a little longer in the playoffs this year, like Wheeler, especially, like those types of players when they're on a roll in their starts. But I'm mostly just scared about the lineup. I'm more scared about the lineup than Topper, to be honest, because if we don't hit, like, then it's going to be a wrap.
That's always the thing. Jason, Topper time.
Hey, he changed a little bit this year, right? More platoons with guys. You know, Stott started platooning with Sosa, lefty righty. Marsh platoons out in left field with Hayes, and then they started using all those other guys they started calling up, whose names I just completely forgot as I was about to make my point, but whatever, we're stuck on that. Yeah. So yeah, he's definitely changed a lot out there, and he has to, right? This is the year. The window for the Phillies is closer to closing than it is to opening, right? They're an older team, so this has to be the year where they get things done.
I have liked the things that Topper has done this year, but if I'm watching a game and there's a guy on a heater and you're in game 3 and this guy is like 12 for 14 at the plate and hits, and you don't walk him, I don't give a fuck when it is. First inning, third inning, fourth inning, whatever. If you don't walk a guy who's going 14 for 14 and it's game 3 and 4, if you don't walk him one time or throw a ball high up on him or on his hip or something, move him off the plate, if you don't call in something, I'm going to lose my shit. Because Harry's right. It's not really all on Topper, but pulling your starters too early is bad rotation choices maybe. But There have been 2 times now where I've seen that dude from the Diamondbacks. The dude was 18 for 18. And the only thing that slowed him down was he talked shit to his coach, and his coach said, all right, you're benched. He benched him for a game. Came back and went 9 for 9. Topper, stop throwing to this dude. Stop throwing to this dude. You're in a 3-2 game, and this dude busts the game open every time he's at bat. You have to analytics. All we hear in sports anymore is analytics. Look at the fucking chart. Hercules is up to bat. All right, well, we're not pitching to Hercules. Barry Bonds is up to bat. We're not pitching to Barry Bonds. Like, I get it. He was a rookie and he was no name or whatever, but he was on a heater. He knew something. Fucking walk people occasionally, strategically. And if we get into overtime, if you don't sacrifice the first person at bat so you can advance to second base to third base, I'm going to smash my television and end up on TikTok. Okay? All right, good talk, Topper.
Remember, starters go like 5 innings in the playoffs because it's harder, right? Just too much stress. Too much stress.
Sorry, audio listeners. I was just my microphone by accident. I didn't mean to do it. So we feel great about the Phillies. Do you want Bill Belichick to be the head coach for the Philadelphia Eagles?
No.
Can I interest you in a Mike Vrabel?
I would take
Please.
Can I interest you in a Brian Flores, African militant Black Panther type?
I'll try it.
Maybe.
I'll take a sample.
Yeah, I'll try it.
So I had to get Harry back on the board of Flores from last week, but I just look at the Vikings and I'm like, they didn't do anything besides hire a different defensive coach.
Well, he's been there. He was there. This is the second or third year there.
The second or third year.
Yeah, they just got the system down now.
He ain't seen me this year.
I'm tired of this Fangio stuff, bro. I mean, it's like we talked about earlier, but it's like, man, is it the personnel? Is it Fangio? I'm like, at this point, it's been 4 or 5 years of this crap, and I'm like, we never liked it anyway, so let's just get some blitzing back in Philly.
The NFL is supposed to be a copycat league, right? What team has won the Super Bowl? The Chiefs. What do they do on defense? Do they play that stupid shell, or do they blitz the hell out of
They
people?
blitz people.
Right, Spags heats you up.
That's
right.
and that's what I'm saying about Flores. Like, yeah, but you're right. It might have been like maybe they added 2 people or something changed, but he's blitzing like 68% of the time.
He's like, just
my boy looked like the Black Jim Johnson out here, and I like it. I like it a lot. All right.
Me too.
And, if you like Bill Belichick, that's why I try to interest people into the Mike Vrabel. Vrabel has the same kind of defensive mindset, but he's also a new generation coach. Correct. And when he had A.J. Brown, he took the Titans to number 1 in their division 2 years where we thought the Titans were out to do something. And then lo and behold, when his GM gets fired for trading away A.J. Brown, his stock and team went through the floor because they had no one else to throw the ball to anymore. And that was predicated on, oh my God, that's how the Eagles look.
But how he's the best GM in the NFL? I thought.
Oh my God! AJ Brown started the season last year. He was better than Megatron, and they triple teamed him, and the whole game fell apart. Trade for Devontae Adams.
I like that we tell the Vrabel.
Oh, please! Thank you for bringing that up. I want Devontae Adams. Let's get him.
What'd you say, Jason?
I sound like we tell the Vrabel story. Like, yeah, it's because he had AJ Brown. That's why the Titans were good. Like, they didn't have one of the greatest running backs ever.
Yeah, Derrick Henry. Ooh,
Yeah, like,
he was 1 yard away from breaking the 200-yard like game record.
After AJ Brown left,
yeah, I know.
And the team went down.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm just saying we need AJ Brown, and now we need a backup AJ Brown. So go ahead, Harry.
Listen, I love Devontae Adams a lot, man. I don't know what the hell's going on with the Raiders. Like I was high on the Raiders at the start of the season because of Antonio Pierce and how he took that team. It's like I never expected a guy like Devontae Adams to. I mean, he's one of those like maybe quiet divas where it's like, is he really a diva? Is he not a diva? Does he take plays off? I don't know, but he seemed very professional for his whole career. And he's one of the best route runners ever. Like, and he's just a vet, and he's better than Dotson, and he's better than Covey. So, goddamn, let's get Devontae.
Do you know what's wrong with Devontae Adams, Harry?
He's got Gardner Minshew, and he's on the Raiders.
No.
He went there
What's wrong?
Best friend, and they traded him a year later.
Yeah. No. But no. Harry, do you know what's wrong with him, Harry?
What else is wrong with him?
What's wrong with Devontae Adams is he listens to people like the greatest basketball player the gods ever played.
Michael Jordan?
LeBron James.
Oh.
He thinks he wants the power. Oh, Packers, you're not going to pay me. I'm going to go play with my buddy. Going to Miami. gets down there and realizes, oh shit, I don't have Dwayne Wade or Chris Bosh. I want the fuck out of Los And now he's out here using all this player empowerment to be just bopping. Bro, you went to Vegas because you were greedy and they were paying you the most. Yep. Shut up and suffer and collect your check. Because at the end of the day, we still don't know who you are. You're going to get another bag. But cry about it. Go ahead and cry about it and then go to another team. And you better hope that they trade you to a team with a quarterback, because I'm out here to tell you, I'm trading you as a mercenary piece. If you want to go, I'm going to be a real raider. I'm going to raid somebody's kitchen cabinets. I want your second, your third, and somebody else that's good looking out here because my owner likes young bitches. I don't want to hear it. Okay, you want to go? Okay, peace out, brother. Enjoy that state sales tax wherever you go, because you ain't going to Florida and you ain't going to Texas. I can guarantee you that. So, player empowerment. Thank you, LeBron, for showing athletes that they can do what they want to do. They got their own podcast now because you're out here doing high fancy produced stuff on HBO, and Darius Slay's in his grandmama's basement. Appreciate you. So we all suffer now because of LeBron James. Thank you, guys. Ruining all sports and all media and just clutch sports. Yeah, it's so clutch.
Yeah.
I'm joking. If anybody would hire me, I would dump these guys in a heartbeat. I wouldn't be should anymore if you guys call me.
You should do.
So, yeah, I don't know where he's going to go, but Dan Orlovsky came out and just listed all 12 teams in the NFL. Like, okay, dummy, who wouldn't want Devontae Adams? Name one team that doesn't want him. Everybody wants him. So, it's just a weird time.
Amari Cooper should be available, too.
I take Amari Cooper for
cheaper
real,
and younger.
He's leading the NFL in drops, I believe, or he was going in last week, but he's been playing okay otherwise.
Let me tell you something. The reason Amari Cooper is dropping the ball because there's baby oil on him when it comes to him. I don't want to.
You're right.
I mean, boy out here getting you some massages, the ball a little slippery. Yeah. Coop just yet, you know what I'm saying? Ball's dry around here. We got baby powder. Anyway.
I'll take Coop.
I think we covered everything. This might be like one of the greatest short episodes ever in life. And I like trying to keep it under an hour for those listening on audio, because they usually tail off after an hour of us rambling anyway. But at least we laughed at the end, right? We're so angry to start. I've been angry for the last 2 days.
We're going to get Devontae Adams.
We're going to get Devontae Adams.
I want one more thing, but it's just a statement on that. Hey, it's okay to say Jalen Hurts isn't playing good. You don't have to say he sucks and isn't the guy. It's okay to be critical. You don't have to be insane, but you also don't have to keep a poster up and talk about how great he is all the time and keep bringing up 2022 as well. Just pay attention to these games. It's okay. 2 and 3 things could be true. I said, when I watched Justin Herbert smashing his helmet into the stands and into a seat, you think he can handle Philadelphia pressure? Right.
He can't handle pressure when there's 13 fans in the stadium. I know he wants to win. He wants to win so bad. Okay, where was all this rage when he was losing for the last 4 years? Now all of a sudden that he's paid? No, because he's got a coach in his fucking backside. That's why he's mad. And he's going to have to sit through these meetings for the rest of this week over his mistake. I need a real coach here for Jalen Hurts, and I'm not willing to give up on him until I get rid of Scooby-Doo, Mr. Magoo, Nick Sirianni, and get a real coach in here. And whether it's Belichick or Vrabel or I just want a defensive guy, to be honest with you.
Oh, I want an offensive guy.
So
a real one, though.
I want a defensive guy because the defense is so young and so bad. I personally feel like if you take Nick out of the way, you could give me a mediocre offensive guy that would make this offense run right. I need a defensive guru that's not of the Vic Fangio disciplage defense. So I hear what you're saying. Normally I'm an offensive guy, but right now I want a defensive, and a defensive guy is going to be more disciplinary for Jalen Hurts, for the offense, for the defense. So I need right now, Jason. I'm taking away your positive, your thought process. You got to get on board with me. I need all my energy. I'm so focused on defense right now. So
Vrabel or nothing.
Yeah, change the attitude, and then a defensive guy will do that. And that's what we got. That's what we want. Thank you for watching. We know Playoff Baseball is on, and thank you for the 96 y'all that tuned in live, and for all the people on YouTube and the Spotify and the iTunes. Make yourself useful. Go click it and give us a rating, even if it's like a 5. I mean, just do the best you can and just make a great show. Just write a 1-word line. Lie about it. Tell them I look like I lost some weight or something. I don't know. Just make yourself useful. We'll be back here next Tuesday. We might actually have to switch up our schedule, guys, because with this playoff baseball coming on, we need to watch it. They need to watch it. It is every night. So we might have to switch up our time schedule. We might have to hang out on the weekend, have a piece of pizza. I don't know what we got to do. But We'll be back. It's also the bye week, so maybe
Eagles
we'll just
can't lose this week.
Nope.
Shut up, Jason.
But they can prepare to lose in 2 weeks. So.
And on that, I'll tell you one more time.